So read aloud of My Indiana 21, the story of our Hoosier state in the 21st century, and we're reading the 17th issue, 1816 to 1820. It's called Statehood. Subheading, Indiana now's 19th state, Washington, D.C., December 11th, 1816. Another new star for our flag. President Madison has signed the resolution admitting Indiana into statehood. This beautiful tree-shaded building in Corydon served as Indiana's capital until 1825. Indiana statehood. By 1812, Indiana was growing fast. After the losses by Little Turtle, Pontiac, Tecumseh, and the Prophet, settlers were less afraid to come to Indiana. They had heard about the good farmland, and now they would come to build their homes on it. Indiana was sure to have 60,000 people soon. Congress was asked to approve statehood, but the War of 1812 delayed the act. By the end of June 1816, a constitution had been drafted. Statehood was approved. On December 11th, Indiana became America's 19th state. What is a state? Think about that question. It's not so easy to answer. We say Indiana is a state, but what do we mean? Colonial America. When the first settlers came to America, they formed colonies. A colony is a settlement of people living and working together. Each of the 13 American colonies was ruled by the government of England. But that government was far away across the ocean. It took a month or more for a ship to go each way. So the British government was too far away to make day-to-day decisions for the colonies. For government to work, it needs to be closer to the people. So the king appointed people in each colony to make daily decisions. This became the Colonial Government. Here is a simple diagram of colonial government. The English government is in charge of the colonial governments, and then the colonial governments are in charge of the colony. So the English government kind of makes these governments and lets them be in charge on this side of the ocean. Each of the 13 colonies had its own government, but was subject to the same government in England. So one colony has its own government over here, another one has its own over here, but both of these governments answer to the English government. As the colonies grew, they became harder to govern. In the Revolutionary War, they cut their ties with England and formed a union of colonies, which they called states. So they cut their ties with England, and they changed the names from colonies to states. State governments ruled the states, and they ruled together. So now they're connected together in a union of states. Now each of the 13 states has its own government, but was united with the other states as the United States of America. Then they had a new problem to solve. The problem was finding a way that each state could govern itself and still be united as part of the new nation.